This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the quick and easy way to build a kick-ass website.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking a look at the contents of this enormous box. This is the Noblechairs Epic Series Real Leather in Black. It's a gaming chair, in case you couldn't tell, and I'm really not an expert when it comes to gaming chairs. I'm still sort of conflicted about the whole thing. I do use one. I have a Maxnomic, which I did review back on the channel maybe a year ago. But honestly, I love that chair. It's been fantastic, but it's really the only basis of comparison I have for reviewing this chair. So I'm going to be making a lot of those comparisons today between these two models. This is supposed to be a better chair, according to the manufacturer, than something like the Maxnomic because it features real, genuine leather, and it's all sexy and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and test it out just to see what all the features entail, and then we're going to go circle back and do a little conclusion to see exactly if this thing is worth the $500 or $600 that you might spend on it. So on that note, I'm going to crack this box open, we're going to put it together, and check this baby out.
All right, here she is in all her glory, or maybe it's a he. I'm not sure. But installation was super smooth and easy. Probably took me 25-30 minutes max to get this thing all set up. Instructions over there were super clear. There's really nice big pictures, very descriptive, and everything went really smoothly on the installation front. Didn't really run into any issues. This thing was up and running in no time, so that's good. You can see I've got my Maxnomic here, my daily driver. Just gonna put it right here for comparison. We'll be doing a little left and righty occasionally throughout the rest of this review. So I think the best way to do this right now is to start from the bottom. We'll start from the bottom and then we'll go to the top and we'll work our way to all the other things that are going on up there. I'm just gonna sit on the floor right now. Hope that's cool with you guys. So the first thing I wanna point out is the base here. It's full aluminum and it's kind of got a nice matte black powdered coated finish. And it seems very sturdy. Build quality is top notch here. It does have it's a 5-star design, so you've got casters on the bottom of each of those wings. And the casters are really actually nice. They slide very easily, whether you're on hardwood floor, and I did test it out on the carpet as well. Slides very easily. Pretty much on par with the Maxnomic. Sorry it's all like dirty and dusty. I should have cleaned that before the video. But you can see this has got more of a glossy finish on the 5-star base. And I can't remember if this is aluminum or metal. It's one or the other, but honestly, they're pretty much on par. They do look a bit different because of the gloss versus the powder coat. I actually do like the powder coat a bit more. I think it just looks a little bit more subdued. I don't like gloss on pretty much anything. And yeah, so just right up here, you can see we've got 2 of these black levers. All right, so there's one here and there's one here. So this one, I believe, adjusts the rocking mechanism. So if you enable that, you can actually rock the chair back and forth like a rocking chair. And you can also adjust the tension of that with this knob as well. You can adjust the rocking tension, whether you want it to teeter very easily or have a bit more resistance to it. And also, if you don't like the rocking mechanism, you can actually lock it into place if that's what you're into. So that's nice. And then all over here, you've got this one's for height, I believe. It's already maxed out on the height, but you can adjust the seat up or down, however you like. Obviously, I will have mine in the lowest position because I'm short. You guys know that already. And also we've got a little bit of an incline here. This is a lever that we've got for the backrest itself. It's kind of like, it works just like the little arm seat or the backrest lever in a car, for example. And this is so far all the features that I've just talked about in terms of like seat adjustability are also found on the Maxnomic, including this lever here. The lever is full metal. It's got a plastic grip on it so it's not gonna like, cut your hand or anything like that. It is very sturdy, and I would say build quality all around is pretty solid. And then you've got the armrests. These are what they're calling 4D or 4-dimensional armrests, and they're pretty much exactly the same as the ones on the Maxinomic. They are indistinguishable of each other, but that's not a bad thing because I really do like these 4D armrests. So what you can do is there's just levers everywhere, so you can adjust up and down like that. You've got this button here that adjusts how far forward or far back you'd like your armrest to be, which is nice. And then you've got another button here that adjusts inward or outward positioning. So depending on how wide your shoulders are apart and stuff like that, you'll be comfortable. And also, the last one is that you can actually rotate these things just by turning them. See, you can rotate it inward. So if you tend to bow out your elbows, or maybe like that, maybe that's how you game. Who knows? Or you can just go straight, of course. So a lot of options with the armrests. Moving on to the seat and the backrest itself. In terms of quality, we'll go over the build quality first. Super high quality. I mean, this thing is pretty much as good as it gets. It's one of the best that I've seen. Actually, I've really only ever seen this one. But the stitching job for one here is just super good. It's just, it's really clean. There's no fraying of any kind, and it's the same type of quality throughout the entire chair. It looks phenomenal, and you can see there's even some diamond stitching, which not only looks good, but I guess it provides it's a bit more breathable. Speaking of breathability, underneath all of this leather, inside the seat itself, as well as the backrest, you'll find some open cell cold foam, which is, again, very breathable, so it stays more or less cool. Doesn't actually warm you up too much, especially in like high summer periods. Also, it's got a nice firmness to it, and it's a bit more firm than the Maxinomic, but that's also because I've been sitting in this chair for almost 12 months now, so it has softened up. I've definitely broken it in, as I do sit in it every single day for long periods of time. So I would imagine that this would soften up a little bit as well. It's a bit firm for my liking, but again, I think after breaking it in, it would be just perfect for my sweet cheeks. Now, of course, let's not ignore the genuine leather material that's being used on the backrest as well as on the seat itself, because this is one of the biggest features that Noblechairs is priding themselves with their Epic Series lineup. And what's the difference between imitation leather and genuine leather when it comes to a gaming chair? Well, I'm glad you asked. First thing is what I would say is like look and feel, right? So you can kind of tell actually if you look from side to side at the Maxinomic over there and the Epic Series, that, I don't know, it just looks a little bit more cheap on the Maxinomic. It's a bit more glossy. Maybe that's my back sweat. Ugh. But you definitely can tell, especially when you feel the leather with your soft caress. However, my back and my butt can't really tell the difference when sitting in the chair itself. So the genuine leather, I will say, does not make the chair any more comfortable. That's more so dependent on the back and butt support, as well as like the open cell cold foam and stuff like that. However, there are certain other benefits to genuine leather other than the look and feel, which include durability. So for one, it's more resistant to UV stuff, UV exposure, as well as moisture. So if you guys tend to sweat a lot during like long gaming sessions, or whatever other sessions you might be engaged in, then perhaps genuine leather is the way to go over the imitation stuff. Now, to be fair, to really test out the durability between these two types of leather, I would have to sit in each one an equal amount of time for a prolonged period of time, not just a few hours, but several months perhaps, to see how they each hold up. Unfortunately, I've only ever sat in the Maxinomic for that period of time, and I will say, in its defense, it's held up quite nicely, even though it does have imitation leather. There's really very minimal signs of wear and tear, if any at all. I mean, other than maybe getting stretched a little bit here, there is a bit of stuff here. Do you see those little markings? That's not actually wear and tear. Those are my fucking cats. I hate those little fuckers. But truth be told, the pleather here on the Maxinomic has actually held up pretty well, and I'm super happy with it. So it would be interesting to sit in the Epic Series chair for a year or so and do a bit of a comparison, but maybe I'll circle back in a year from now. Who knows? Now, perhaps the biggest question that we need to answer today in this sort of comparison review is which one of these chairs is more comfortable to sit in. And that's actually important, because even if you have a ton of features like both of these chairs do, if the chair is not comfortable for any period of time, then it's kind of like all those other features don't really matter, do they? Do they? So if I would have to give my honest opinion here, and Wifey Sauce actually agrees with me on this, is that the Maxinomic, in both of our opinions, is the more comfortable chair. Not so much for the butt. I mean, the butt on both of these is quite comfortable. Granted, the Maxinomic's a bit more broken in, but the problem with the Epic Series chair lies in the back support, I think. Because if you look at this, it's pretty flat. So unless you have a really flat back, that's not gonna work out for you. I actually have a pretty sizable arch in my back, so I need good lumbar support. And the great thing about the Maxnomic, you can already see it's like bulging out a bit. It's got this knob. I don't know if you guys remember this knob from my review on this chair, but it's adjustable lumbar support. So if you turn it, you can start to see it bulging out a little bit. It's very subtle, it might be hard to see on camera, but it actually bulges out, you know, and forms to your back. And you can crank it however you want. It's completely adjustable. There's no option, there's no such option for like that on the Epic Series chair, which is kind of a disappointment. Instead, to remedy that, the loss of any adjustable back support, they have included this pillow. That's your lower lumbar support, which, I don't know, for a $500 or $600 chair, I would expect a little bit more here. And the problem with this pillow is that unless your back is exactly the dimensions with the same arch and stuff, it's not gonna feel right. And when I had Wifey Sauce sit in this chair for the first time, she said, you know, what I thought she would, it's too flat, the back is too flat. So I tried having her sit in it again with the pillow, and then she said, well, it's too poofy now. And it was actually sticking out so far for her that her upper back wasn't able to touch the backrest properly. So it's just, you know, it needs to be a bit more adjustable than that. The head pillow is great though. GG. For a critique here, probably the biggest critique out of this whole review is Noblechairs, if you're listening, keep everything else the same. This chair is freaking awesome. The build quality is top notch. It really is a top class chair. The one thing I would add is adjustable lower lumbar support. And that is the biggest difference between the Maxnomic and the Epic Series here today. And I would say it's pretty damn important. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts, and I really do need a cameraman. Let me know what you think of the chair and what you think about genuine leather. Is that something that you look for when shopping for a gaming chair, or does it really not matter to you much? I'm very curious to know. Also, I will say thank you to today's sponsor because they are awesome. Squarespace, apart from being really awesome guys to work with and collab with and sponsor stuff with, they also have an amazing service where you can develop websites very easily on the cheap. So I actually have my entire website, bitwit.com/store, as well as the main page, all developed through Squarespace, and I have jack shit for web design experience, guys. I think the most experience I have with web design is I failed a class on it in college once. But other than that, I have no idea what I'm doing. So Squarespace makes it super easy for me to just click some stuff, pick a template, and then you can actually go in and customize by clicking and dragging and just more clicking. There's no coding involved, really. I think there is an option to code if you want, if you are more advanced. But for the most part, if you're a web design noob like myself and you just have an idea, or you have a company or a business or a startup or a blog, then Squarespace is a great place to look. Also, if you guys want a discount for your membership there, you can go ahead and type in the offer code BITWIT at the link that I provided in the description below, and you'll get 10% off of that subscription. But that's gonna do it for now, guys. Go ahead and toss me a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe for more tech videos coming at you really soon, and I will see you all in the next video.